Hi Pisces, how you guys doing? This is going to be general reading for you guys for August 1st through the 14th. I hope you guys are doing well. Let's first get a card of advice from the Black Moon Tarot. Some advice from the skies for Pisces, please. Some advice for the skies from Pisces, please. Okay. Gemini, good. This is all about communication. It's communication. When we talk about that before we pull, I'm going to be doing a Celtic cross spread for you guys for those 2 weeks. So Gemini is all about communication. It's a Mercury energy. This just highlights the importance of how important communication is going to be for some reason during this time. Now, at the current time, you may find yourself to be very highly strung and nervous. That's very much a Gemini kind of thing. Just the nature of Geminis a lot of the time, but definitely still being able to figure whatever it is that you're needing to figure out with a very probing mind. It may feel as if you're riding high on a wind with very lofty energy right now. Like, let's get a very good vibe off of this. You're going to be multitasking. There's a lot of multitasking that's going to be required of you right now. Gemini is also the sign of soulmates, guys, because it corresponds to the Lover's card in the tarot. So this card indicates an important romantic relationship has started. You're in it right now. You've been in it for a long time, or it's definitely going to be starting very shortly. But the bottom line with the Gemini card here is words are really important now. So make sure you use them wisely. Words are going to be very important regarding the outcome of this reading. So I don't know. Let's see. I did already pre-shuffle and meditate on these cards, guys, because it takes me a while to get into that space. That's why I do that. Okay, beautiful. This is representing your situation. 2 of Cups. Beautiful. This is what's blessing you. The Sun. Love it. Crowning. 2 of Coins. Awesome. Don't be scared of it. Don't be scared. Haven't we been talking about, this is your foundation, Knight of Cups. Haven't we been talking about you guys being scared lately? You guys dealing with your fears. Not getting it as strong as they had been. This is in your past, 4 of Coins reverse. This is in your near future, Death card. I love it. Don't be scared of that. That's entirely positive. 4 of Wands, beautiful. Beautiful. That's representing you. 4 of Swords, external influences. Princess of Wands reverse, that's in your fears. And then the outcome, we have the Hangwoman reverse. The Hangwoman reverse. Okay. All right. So let's get right into this. The 2 of Cups. This is a Venus and Cancer energy. Yeah, I mean, listen, we have a lot of Venus stuff going on. We have Venus and Leo. On August 2nd, we have Venus and Leo square Uranus and Taurus. This might bring you some surprises. It could be like kind of jostling, you know, depending on what's going on in your life. Make you have a little bit of a scattered energy. So that makes sense here with that Venus and Leo square Uranus and Taurus. That's going to be on August 2nd. But we also have Venus in Leo trine Jupiter and Sag. And this is a favorite aspect of mine, having to do with anything involving love or money. That's happening on August 8th. There's an expansion of love and money here is what this is about. So I do like that. So everything I'm saying is kind of blanketed for this 2-week period. So we do have some positive Venus stuff going on. So I do like that. So again, this is a Venus in Cancer. The intimacy in this card, I mean, it's just beautiful, right? It's beautiful. This is a very true, real emotional connection has been created here. And I'm getting that this is making many of you unbelievably happy while others of you are very scared. Like there's a fear of losing it. And if you're in a fear of losing it, just make sure that you're not clinging to an old wound that can end up manifesting as a kind of something that could serve to like a desperation or lack of believing in this that's only going to serve to sabotage this beautiful connection. So there's no question this is very powerful, beautiful connection, and it's a second chakra energy, and it really wants us to be reminded of the powerful the powerful emotions that we carry within us regarding love. Really get in touch with those very powerful emotions that are pushed in us when we're dealing with, particularly an intimate relationship. Because this pushes us to really look at the emotional experience we each have of love outside of ourselves. How do you relate to love? What are you really experiencing emotionally around love and your connection with others? Is it a place of fear for you, or is it a place of solace? And for a lot of you, I'm getting that you might be feeling this sense of solace, but you're scared because you've been hurt in the past. But what I love about this energy, though, is that it really is your own self-love that's magnetizing the energy here. This shows me you getting deeply in touch and very real about making love work in your life. Getting in touch with your insecurities and your fears, and not allowing any bullshit, guys. Not from your partner and not from yourself. There's a real meeting in the middle here. And as a lot of you guys know, Venus rules the fixed earth sign of Taurus, right? So she enjoys this comfort and stability that we love in partnerships, right? The partnerships can bring us when they're healthy and they're solid. I like to say in this regard that it's like Venus steps in as the ruler of Cancer's first decan, and she just lights a few candles and puts on some love songs in the background and just lets nature take its course, right? This is the real Lord of Love energy, so I really like that for you. It's beautiful, beautiful. And that's a very specific energy, guys. It really, really is very specific, so... if this is not resonating with you, definitely check your rising sign, your moon sign, or your Venus sign, okay? Because we can't, general readings, it's really hard to get it on point for everybody each time, We all try to do that the best we can, but it's kind of impossible, right? Now, the energy blessing you is the sun, which is a Leo energy, and it's also a Jupiter retrograde energy that offers you the chance to think about where you are now, right? As Jupiter's the planet of expansion and luck, right? So Jupiter's here giving you the support that you need while you review and you really look at the things right in front of you now that you want to bring to yourself, that you want to create in your life. The sun is one of the most positive cards in the deck, and it symbolizes a lot. It symbolizes a higher consciousness, but it symbolizes confidence and self-esteem and the will to do something and the power to do it and to have a defined purpose and a real drive. And you need strength to do that, and consciousness and enlightenment. So this is all about your inner light shining so bright because of all of these possibilities that are right in front of you. I do like this, because it's a Leo, right? It's Leo energy. So what is Leo? Leo's about creativity and recreation. It's having fun, and it's about procreation and really healthy, beautiful, connected sex. It's a beautiful energy. And again, the sun lightens up any negative cards in the spread. So really couldn't ask for a better blessing, if you ask me. Really beautiful. Now, your crowning energy, we have the Two of Coins. So Jupiter and Capricorn energy. So Capricorn's all about work, right? And this is about the benefit of Jupiter, though, making changes and material improvements in your life that are going to go very smoothly for you at this time, with really not too many bumps in the road. The only thing I could say is you might need to spend some money with one hand, but whatever you put out, you're going to get it back with the other hand, if that makes sense. What do they say? You need to spend money to make money. But I'm getting this is also applicable to if it has nothing to do with money, because coins, some of you might know it as pentacles, in the tarot. It means a lot more than just money. It also means morals and values and mental health and physical health. It could mean any of those things. So definitely apply it as you see fit. But this is about changes and improvements in this area. Okay? But I'm getting a lot of you have a lot going on. But this is you looking out into your new life. It's a beautiful crowning energy. You just want to make sure that you stay really positive and focused on the calm waters, right? And stay focused on that beautiful ship with the red passionate sails right out there waiting for you. As I am getting that many of you feel nervous and turbulent inside regarding your future. So just, take the time to breathe and allow yourself to step from what you want for yourself into what you're creating for yourself right now. Allow that transition, because this is really beautiful. And there's a balancing here. I'm getting that there's definitely a balance here. Is whenever there's a two of anything, there's this idea of balancing between, it could be two ideas. I'm getting like, two ideas, or just balancing your finances with what you want to do, and the practical aspects of your life with the emotional aspects of your life, because we have the water element there, which is the emotions. So there's this connection between resources that you need tangibly in this life, and again, it is, yes, money and resources, anything that you consider resource, but it's also mental health and physical health and values, and the ability to support someone and their ability to support you. So that's really beautiful. Then your foundation, we have the Knight of Cups. This is a Pisces this is Pisces energy. Watery and emotional, graceful and generous. Beautiful imagination. You guys are such visionaries. You really are. Your foundation is based in the romantic ideal. And what is that? It's all about, beauty is truth and truth is beauty. Pisces, this is so positive. This is about you and the person you're dealing with just being so beautifully in your feelings. There's an energy of charm and sensitivity, chivalrous man, kind and thoughtful woman. This shows you seeing the world through a bit of a misty glow, feeling very sensitive and idealistic, but very intuitive and not afraid. You're not afraid to dive deep into your emotions. You're not afraid to take the trip there, but then once you're there, I'm getting a lot of you are like, oh my God, holy shit, like, can I trust this? What do I do? Okay. Yeah. But listen, this energy, because it's a Pisces energy, is also about, and this could be for you or the person you're dealing with, somebody coming off as a little bit elusive. I do have to just mention that because in the natural horoscope, his primary domain is the 12th house, right? Which is yours, right? 12th house of mysticism and hidden secrets. So just make sure that complete honesty and great communication is happening here. Now, for those of you not involved in a relationship at all, this indicates the arrival of an opportunity that will spin your life in a new direction. So continue to stay connected to your desire, even if you feel frustrated at what you feel to be a real lack of progress right now. This is the 5th chakra energy, which is where your throat area is, okay? For those of you who aren't familiar with the chakras. And that's about communication. So this is another mention of communication going on here. Even if it's uncomfortable, have the conversation, okay? Have those conversations, okay? Now, in your past, we have the 4 of Coins reverse. The Sun in Capricorn. Why do I feel like I got this for you guys in one of the past couple of readings? But anyway, the 4 of Coins reverse indicates an overly materialistic individual, typically, okay? In the most simplest interpretation of this, that's kind of obsessed with money and status possessions. But I am getting that this is you, Pisces, not somebody that you're dealing with. Again, this is a general reading. I just have to tell you what I'm getting. And this really is at its core an insecurity that feeds into this belief that you're never going to have enough. So for some of you, you may have had changes in your role at work that may have left you feeling somehow disempowered or unhappy somehow. Or you begin to find, in this space, you began to find issues with management that really pushed you to want to make some changes in your role at work. So you somehow felt shackled to the position that you were in, something about your position you weren't happy in. For many of you, it became very important to do well on a professional or educational test that you needed to take during this time. And I'm getting that maybe it's to transfer you into a different path within your career right now, or a whole new career altogether. But this also shows me that many of you, dealing with somebody who is very controlling and self-centered, who's in a position of power over you. Yeah. So definitely having something to do with one of your superiors at work, maybe a group of them, and you just really being rubbed very much the wrong way. And I feel like the reason for that materialistic sensibility, not in a negative way, just in a very practical way, of you being in a space of just really not sure where you stand in your career, and if you want to stay in it, if you want to maybe try to change careers. And what do you have to do when you do that, right? You have to have a little bit of money to carry you during that transition. So I am getting that to be relevant. I'm not getting any relationship vibe from that at all, I do have to tell you. Now, in your near future, we have the Death card. This is a Scorpio energy, and guys, believe it or not, the Death card isn't a bad omen. It's about transition and release. And it's a change of form, a transformation. You know, like those little deaths that we have when we sleep and when we have sex, those little deaths, that's what's indicated here. So, you know, while most people fear death, Scorpios are completely unafraid of it, right? They're unafraid of darkness. In fact, they're fascinated by the interconnected mysteries between life and death, and death and sex, right? Like we were just mentioning. Sometimes we'll see Scorpios represented as a bird, right? An eagle or bird of prey or phoenix. You know, the phoenix is that mythical bird that dies and is reborn from its own ashes. That's a metaphor for transformation and change. This is about a metamorphosis, a rebirth. It doesn't represent the loss of energy, but a conversion of energy. You know, this is the definitive completion of one chapter of your life in a very exciting way. There's a new start of another that you're going to be so happy with where you're going. Now, for many of you, this death may have already happened. And even if you're in a space of nursing some wounds from something that changed in your life, it's not going to last. But regardless, this calls for the release of old habits, old patterns, old relationships that have served their purpose and now just need to be thrown into the pages of your history book. You know, this is a deep emotional energy that just, to me, clearly indicates the next cycle of your life. You know, Scorpio is the 8th sign, and it's in that 8th house where we look for information about sex, death, joint resources, and other people's money. So I'm getting that for many of you, this can mean you transitioning into a period of life where you're creating a solid union with someone. You know, and for others of you, if you're not involved in a relationship, this can certainly be the new cycle regarding the starting of a business, a new business with somebody, or a new cycle within your career. You know, on a new path, which to me can be reflective of that 4 of coins, reverse energy that we just talked about. Okay, and now representing you, we have the 4 of wands, Venus and Aries. Look at this. I love this, Pisces. Look at this card, right? It's that moment before she accepts the keys to her kingdom, or queendom, right? Because she's a queen. So her queendom. She's thinking about her accomplishments and everything that she's done and where she's been. And while the path ahead of her, she knows is going to have its challenges, she knows that this is everything that she's been working towards. And this is everything that she's been wanting. And this is a new life. This is the 4th chakra energy, which is all about leveling up, an expansion, and there's an excitement here, a building of excitement related to something really good. So you need to really ask yourself the question, how good will you allow things to get in your life? And just be very aware if you start to fall into like a negative Nancy pit where you start to feel a little negative or not trusting of things. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean, right? stop yourself and pivot your thoughts and really get ready to open your heart to a life to change that's going to be very profound for the trajectory of the rest of your life. Because this is a metaphor for collaboration and cooperation, and it does often indicate marriage, or at the very least partnership. You know, I learned many years ago that this is the card of the dance, right? And I really think that this applies here because it's a Venus energy, and Venus is that planet of pleasure, of music, anything artistic, right? Which is dance. And isn't that what relationships are? It's like that dance of give and take and sharing. It's the planet of beauty and attraction and the resulting friendships and romances that result from that. Very stable energy for sure. So beautiful. Then we have the external influence, 5 of Swords reverse, Venus in Aquarius. This indicates unnecessary conflict where you're somehow being pulled into somebody else's nonsense that you probably shouldn't be pulled into. But there is a reason for this argument, and there's a reason for you being there. There's a reason for everything, right? But the chances are this has mostly to do with somebody's incompetence. And I am getting at work first and foremost. Although, guys, again, I hate to be repetitive. This is a general reading, so apply it certainly, you know, how you see fit. But I am getting that this has to do with work. Somebody's incompetence and a lot of deflection going on here, right? Something that they messed up on. They're trying to blame somebody else or deflect attention away from something that they messed up on. Now, this can just be you having to deal with somebody else's ego, as where they're having a show of power. But it's going to be pretty obvious to you that it's not about you at all, which is going to make it a lot easier for you to extricate yourself, because you're going to know that it's their issue. And whatever argument they're starting is more about them and less about you. So there's a vibe here almost like of you having to deal with somebody who's like a bully, or it's like a sense of oppression that you're going to have to deal with. Something unfair. You're going to have to deal with something unfair. Just know that this may happen. It's a minor arcana. It's not going to last. And you got the Sun card. So the Sun is going to lighten up the weight of this. So I don't want you to stress about that. It's just going to be something silly that you're going to have to deal with. Okay? But we do have to mention what we get. Okay. Now, this is your fear. Princess of Wands reverse, Scorpio and Sag energy. So this tells me that you're afraid of having what you want for yourself being somehow blocked or delayed. Not being able to progress forward at the pace that you would like. And if you're feeling this, just know that it's temporary. Don't drop your plans. Some of you are going to have to be dealing with somebody who is egotistical. Yeah, again, with this ego. Someone who thrives on status, right? And having just really acting out of self-interest. They don't want to do the work that they need to do to have the lifestyle that they want to have. I get such a baby vibe from this, if that makes sense. So just somebody who's very, very immature when it comes to the pragmatics of life. So listen, some of you might have a partner that's like this. Even though you love them to death, they might be a little out of touch with what's actually necessary to push your life forward. I get this very forward feel from you, Pisces, that you want to get your coins in a row, and you want to have to get everything that you need together in the space that it needs to be in so that you can move forward in this life that you have envisioned for yourself. And you're very aware of the fact that that requires resources, and it requires a way of conducting your life at this point in order to get to where you want to go. So I am getting, on the one hand, some of you are just very afraid of what you wanting for yourself not coming to fruition. You're afraid of and I'm getting because things have been delayed thus far. But guys, it's only been delayed because Mercury is retrograde, right? Mercury is still in shadow. It's going to be out of shadow by the end of this period, but around August 15th. It finally comes out of shadow. It went direct on the 31st of July, but things are still wonky and confusing when it goes direct. Things don't clear up right away. So, but for others of you, I'm getting that you're dealing with somebody who is egotistical, who just like really doesn't quite get it. And this is scaring you a little bit. This is scaring you a little bit. So I am getting that, but I don't want you to be afraid here. Don't be afraid. We've been talking about this for a few weeks. Trust that it's all good. It's all good, but you might need to communicate with your partner about the practical aspects of what's necessary, to move things forward. And we have your outcome here, which is the Hangwoman reverse. It's a sixth chakra energy. And this tells me that for some reason, you're stalling regarding something. This is a Neptune energy. It tells me that you might be in a space of very rigid thinking where you may need to revise your expectations right now for what you think you want, because what you think you want might not be possible right now. This isn't like a forever kind of thing, but right now. So this asks, you holding on to a fantasy that may not actually serve your highest good right now. But I'm getting that this is really just a matter of looking things from another point of view. And it's about compromise, right? So I'm getting, okay. I'm sorry to put my words together. I'm getting that many of you have a picture in your head of exactly how you want things to be, or at least how you think things should be moving forward. But you may realize that your partner is not 100% on board with you in the way that you would like, or circumstances in your life may not allow what you would ultimately dreamy want, right? But this is not a bad thing, Pisces. I'm getting that this is just going to require the tweaking of plans and the revisiting of how things should be moving forward. I still think this is very positive, but this shows me lots of conversations, lots of communication, Yeah, absolutely. Just the need for communication all around. Yeah, I mean, this is a big message here, but communication, but man, do I get some really beautiful love here. Beautiful love. I'm not getting anything totally specific for work that's entirely positive. I actually feel like you're in the midst of transitioning in your career in this, yet at the same time, you're either meeting somebody new or you're deeply solidifying your current relationship in a very profound way. And communication is going to really matter, having to do with all of this. So I have to figure out what I'm going to call this one. But yeah. All right, Pisces, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll see you guys next time. You guys take care. Bye-bye.